What is up, guys? Welcome back here to another Rise of Kingdoms content. Today we got Choppa, and he is going to talk about the situation here in 2805. So, Choppa, I'm hearing something where, like, the kingdom is dying or whatnot. What the heck is going on? I just did a video about you guys here in 2805. So, I think a lot of things have changed. I see my good friend Chonggu is now stepped down into R3. So, what's going on? I want to hear more of your opinion here.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say '05 is going to completely die anytime soon because there is a dedicated group of T5 players and free-to-players that are still active and strong. But I would say that we are definitely dropping seed significantly. There's a lot of players, including T5 players, leaving and have left already. And I'm currently looking for a new kingdom with a couple of my friends.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's a general
backstory. What happened?
So our original king, who started the jumper, he ended up quitting during KVK2, and during that time, I believe it was during KVK3. I apologize. And then during that time, there were votes for a new king, and one of the R5s of one of the top 3 alliances was voted king, and it was announced at the beginning of KVK that we are currently in. And there was a lot of conflict and questions towards whether this person should be king or not. Without putting out my opinion there, everyone has their opinion on who should and shouldn't be the king. So there was a lot of conflict and back and forth on it. And so with that being said, when we started to have a lot of issues within the kingdom with leadership, a lot of people started leaving and complaining, and it's still continuing. Like today, we lost in the double digits. Yesterday, we lost likely double digits as well. Players. It's huge. Huge.
And you guys you guys have a leader right now, this Aru guy. Is he not liked, or what is going on?
He with the old council, he's trusted, he's liked. He's relatively new to the kingdom. But I'm not sure entirely what his role is right now, since we got a new council starting today. Everyone is new.
Now, who votes for the leadership in here? Is it every single member, or is it select people only?
In what scenario?
The king, the council, like who becomes council? How are you guys doing the vote in the server?
So it's changed depending on the situation. For the last king that had just left, he was voted by only council members, and I believe there were 9 members total, or 8. Actually, there was 8 because one stepped down. And then with this new council, an old council member who stepped down has now stepped back up, and also has consulted with the old council about who to add, and some migrants who are T5 players experienced with SOC were added to the new council. I believe there might be 5 people on council now, and I believe only one was a previous council member. Other than that, they're all new.
So what we're seeing, what I'm seeing actually, is that this is only a select group of people who's really making decision for the entire kingdom, right? Basically.
Yep.
See, this is one of the biggest issue I think in Rock, is like a certain just group makes decision for everything. They're not making any votes. You're not doing a town hall meeting, getting everybody's opinion.
Right, and we have a pretty active Discord server. I haven't seen many other Discord servers, but I would say this one's very active. Okay. And if they had put an announcement, put a poll up or whatnot, I believe they'd get the rest of the kingdom's opinion, or at least a good portion, or at least the active ones who their opinions matter. Um, so yeah, that's my opinion on it, though.
Why do you think they don't do that? You think it's try to grab of power, or I'm just talking in general because it happens a lot in many kingdoms. So we're not trying to target 2805 right now because I'm just curious the mentality, as a perspective on your side.
I think they're just following suit with what they're used to with the very first king.
Mm.
They would all make a vote, and if the king wanted something different, it would go his way. And they kind of just stuck to keeping it within council, I guess.
I
Um,
see.
and I think they reached out. I think they reach out to R4s as well to kind of get opinions
Uh
before
huh.
making decisions. Um, but I don't think it really comes down to a vote of all players
I see.
or top 300 or whatnot.
I see. So what else can you add into the ongoing stuff besides that? Um.
Um,
Yeah. 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 Go ahead.
I mean, without putting O5 on blast, there's some strong, there's some strengths and weaknesses. But I would say everyone's just jumping ship now. And there are a lot of players who want to jump ship but can't because they migrated in not too long ago, or they can't afford to pay for passport pages right away. So I think what we're going to see in O5 is a more of a steady flow of people leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Migration in, of course, you're going to get some people coming in, um, as it is for most kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're going to start seeing a steady flow of people leaving O5 once they gain those passport pages, once they, get those credits, talk to friends about what kingdom they're going to, and then coordinating that. Because there's actually some groups that had left today, and other people who reached out to me and said, "Hey, I was supposed to leave with that group, but they just left and didn't say anything to me."
Oh
Um,
wow.
so yeah, so I'm absorbing all this from the different groups and everything.
Now,
Um, so
what do you think that this kingdom can do to pretty much stop the bleed? What do you think they can do to change it up? I mean, yeah, things are not good right now, and we're making a content about it. But if in your perspective, what do you think can they do to change? Like, let's say you're thinking about leaving, you're planning to leave as well. But what can they do to retain people? What should their first action, do you think?
I think they started with removing the king, the second king.
Who is the second king?
So the second king is Tram. He just migrated to another kingdom. He migrated to let's
Okay,
see here, Kingdom 2881.
but he's not here no more, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't matter now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
what would they need to do to fix this in the server to make it better again?
I think just testing out this new council and seeing how it works, seeing what people think. We don't have a king right now, and I think they're trying to switch from having a king to not having a king in the kingdom. Doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, but I think that's what they're trying to do, um, and make it more of a group vote and no king to kind of veto decisions.
Sometimes I disagree with the council thing in Rise of Kingdoms because I feel like sometimes you need like one strong leader who can decide. And like, how do I say this? When there's voting, too much voting. I mean, I guess you can vote for certain things, but there's certain things where you just say this is it, that's it. You just do it, because the voting things makes things a lot more complicated in the game. I think. I don't know. Maybe I have a different perspective onto things, but
I agree. My experience as far as being in council, I had some experience in 2768. Um, and then I have had some experience being in R4 and coordinating Ark of Osiris in O5. So this isn't really my
mm,
specialty, but I see both sides of it. I would say if you have a king who makes the final say, you can get things done faster.
Yep.
But if you have a council that does a group vote and there's not a final say, I think things move slower, which could be good, but also could be bad. If you're in a good place, moving slower could be beneficial. If you already have a system that works out, and if you make a mistake, you can revert that. But if you have a king, you can go. You can do. The king can make really good decisions back to back to back, or it can make poor decisions back to back to back.
That is
So,
true.
I think it's a. I think every kingdom and how it operates could benefit from both
Yeah.
ways, just
They
depending on their situation.
they gotta try it and see, what works. If they find a good king, then they're very lucky for the king to just make the decisions. Because when you do council, man, people, like, there's so many feelings, emotions in the game, and council fights all the time in this game, and this, but
Yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, like, basically, what you're saying here is, like, pretty much give the new council, like, a little bit of a chance in here before dipping out. You think they can turn it around?
I hope so. I think a big portion of the problem has already migrated out.
Okay.
Um, and those who kind of opposed the general, I don't know. I don't want to take sides or anything and
It's okay.
say
Be
it.
neutral. Be neutral. Like, we're just talking to
Yeah.
neutral, and
So
we're just
I,
reporting.
yeah, I think the certain people are being phased out of the kingdom by migrating and quitting,
Uh huh.
um, and or quitting. And so I think we'll see some change in the kingdom, whether it's good or bad. I think we'll see faster change because of all these big decisions that have taken place. I personally have never seen a group leave so in such quantity in the last 48 hours
Mm-hmm.
without any notice. Um, but then again, when your king isn't given R5 on rotation and isn't given R4,
Mm-hmm.
they know what's up. And when they vote out the king in
Oh, so
council,
they were holding the. Oh, so you guys did vote for a king that you guys wanted, but then they were just holding it up.
no, so they voted for the king and everything. That all went smoothly, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But then they were like, okay, the king isn't working out, so we're going to take a vote. The council all took a vote, including the king, and voted out the king.
Hmm.
And right after that, they were withholding R5 from the king because they didn't want him to make any rash decisions, knowing he's being voted out. If that makes sense.
Ah, I see.
Um,
Oh, why?
so
Why did they vote him out? What was the, like? What was the main
um,
thing?
from what I've heard, I'm not going to put my opinion in it, but what I've heard from multiple people in the kingdom is that the king had put friendships and making other people like him first, and before putting the kingdom first, making decisions to make
Like
make everyone
MG,
like.
like MGE, like, type of thing. Like, okay, you're my friend. I give you a little bit of favor. You get to be in the rank, something like that, or different.
No, trying to vote in his friends into council. There was at least one instance that I know of that had happened, and no, everybody in council that I had spoken to said, "Whoa, that's not a good idea. That we are not going to allow that to happen." Um,
Is the guy
giving,
qualified, or no?
um, I would say that this person is a good R4 and is good at what they do, but not at the level of being on council.
I see. Yeah.
And I think that's what the general consensus was for this person. You know how there's some good, really good R4s,
Uh huh.
but that's where they should be, and council's maybe a little bit too much for them. I think that goes for me as well. Like I found good spots as an R4, but council, like you said, it can be very emotional and
Yeah.
hectic. So, um, yeah, I think that was for this situation. Um, and that's just one example. I don't want to dig too much into he said, she said, opinions of others, but
Mm-hmm.
that's generally he was favoring friends um, over the kingdom, like what the good of the kingdom. Um,
I see.
so
Well, that's not good either. But I was gonna say if the guy was actually qualified, then that should have been like at least given a chance. That's where I kind of was leading into the question.
mhm.
But yeah, I think we've gotten some great information with what's happening here in O5. I'm sure, you know, after this video, maybe there's gonna be more people who wants to reach out. Make sure to feel free to reach out to me on Discord. Definitely want to give everyone a voice here. Do you have anything else to say or add into the situation or to your friends, maybe?
um, No, I just want to say, even with people leaving, 2807, one of our rivals right next to us, is seeing the same issue. They just had a bunch of their high spenders leave,
Ooh.
and actually go to a similar alliance as some of our spenders have went to. So it's a weird dynamic scene. A friend of mine from my kingdom migrate to a kingdom, and then seeing that in the same alliance it's a person from 2007 who rallied me. You know
Oh
what I mean,
wow.
in the same kvk last week. It's just kind of a weird dynamic. But with the fog going away relatively soon, you guys can follow along on the map once that's available. Yeah, I think it's still going to be a good kvk. I won't be here for the end of it, but or I
Mm-hmm.
likely won't be here for the end of it. But yeah, I hope everyone the best. Everyone's going their separate ways.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting with what you said there. Friends. Wait, enemies today, friends tomorrow, basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally.
that's how it works in this game, though. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing your insight in here, Choppa. So
Mhm.
we'll see you again someday when we do another reaching out in here.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate you hearing out kind of what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you.